Suppose I should talk today. Working on the Grape Fairy again. My dogs are very much awake. And just doing some detailing out on her dress before I go back to sculpting on it. Oh my goodness, dogs. Hey, Tucker, chill out. There's literally no one there. Hi. My dogs are having a oh my gosh, the sunlight moved moment. So this color is Rose of Ultramarine that I'm using right now. Since I'm laying it on top of more purples, it's not going to pick up the blues in the paint. It's going to stay mostly the rose color. Mostly. Darken in some areas. I've got cat hair on my brush. So don't really know where I'm going with this outfit design. I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now. Whatever looks interesting to me at the moment, I guess. Hoping I can finish this one today. There's really not a lot to do, but the most time-consuming part is the beadwork and the sculpting. So if I can get all of this painting part done, I can jump over to the sculpting, do the beads, and I'll be done. I've painted over this so thick that I actually am having a hard time seeing my own lines. So I'm kind of winging it as I go. And a bit of purple over here. I just love this Rose of Ultramarine. It's such a gorgeous color. It changes so much. I did a card where I did all the different variegated things. Hey Eva! I didn't see you log on. And what do you mean big? This is a really small piece for me. This is a teeny tiny picture. Ooh, what is this doing? What are my lines doing? What are lines? I didn't realize I didn't have the chat up so I could see you popping over. Yes, I still have that song stuck in my head from the last stream. Okay. I think I figured those lines out. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't have very big hands, so it's not a huge difference. I'm trying to think of something that has a universal size I could put on this so you could see it. it's from the Muppets, and they have this musician dude who doesn't talk. He just says mana, and then his background singers go do 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 do, and he goes mana do 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 do, and it just, oh, you Josh. Look, I just woke up recently. Taking everything at face value. Hey, the lag on the stream isn't that bad. Yeah, I'm telling you, the first time Charlotte learned that song, she would sing it all the time just to piss me off. It's like, kid, no jury would convict me. I used to tell her that. No jury would convict me if you keep singing that. So she'd sing it more and louder. Charlotte has always been a smart ass. So yeah, I stopped on this painting for a while because I don't know, I lost steam with it. I did too much work on one section, so it was really off balance color-wise. And it was so off balance that I couldn't see my way to fixing it. But then a friend gave me a really bad piece of advice and told me to paint the wings red and to paint this part of the dress red. And it was the most awful advice I've ever taken, and I was so mad at how bad it looked that I got off my butt and fixed it. So I guess it was good advice in the end. Sort of. Not really. Oh my gosh, dog. There's one section of sunlight in this room, and my dogs are all crowded together trying to get inside that one spot of sunlight. Yeah, I'm liking them. It's really purple heavy, but I mean, I knew that the second I picked up that frame that I was going to be doing something purple heavy. Could have gone green heavy with the grapes, but green grapes on green leaves would have been just a bit more than I could handle. I know my camera's not picking this up, but I'm doing really dark wisteria spots on this underskirt because I want it to look like it's kind of sparkly. So right now I'm doing the wisteria ones, but I'll go back with lighter colors and darker colors so it looks like we caught it mid-sparkle. Sometimes this camera doesn't want to pick up things, and then other times it's like, yes, I am the most perfect camera that ever existed. I really need to find some free to use music to play while I'm doing this. Otherwise I'm just gonna sing the Mana song like every time, constantly, over and over, until people say no jury in the world would convict me. Yeah, and the camera's pretty high off my desk to get the whole picture, so it can't really super detail focus in. I mean, I could lower it and just work in one tiny section, but then the camera would be in my way. That'd be really annoying. Let's see, I wanted to do this. I'm kind of making up my colors as I go here. But I think I wanted to do this as that sparkle stuff. I'm not even bothering trying to shade the different ruffles right now. I just want to get the base color in. Doesn't really matter with this type of fabric anyways. You could get every single ruffle perfect and then the dress would move and it would all be done. I used to have a lady who would pose for me with dresses like this. Not like this, but you know, with this ruffly stuff. And it was so infuriating. Even if she didn't move, it would change color. It just was so reactant to everything around it. But if I get all of this painted in, what the hell is this section? I don't know. Okay. This is why I don't have other people color my stuff, because if I don't know what my lines are doing, they sure won't know what my lines are doing. Man, I woke up today and all of my dogs were laying on me and 2 of my cats were laying on me, and it was super warm and I had all the blankets on me, but the window was open, so there was like this crisp breeze just coming in and it was so nice. And I didn't want to get up at all. I was just like, nope, today's gonna be another in-bed day. But another artist was streaming and I wanted to watch their stream and my phone was like, nope, you gotta get out of bed. Which is probably a good thing because I have been avoiding doing anything for how many days now? Aside from making silly magnets. I really like how those magnets came out though. I think I'm probably going to put them in like Kickstarters and things as just a bonus. Hey, you guys got me to funding, yay thing. You know, I like adding in extra stuff all over the place. Later today I have to start painting on the skulls that I have to work on. And that's going to be fun. I cleaned them up and I have covered them with a transparent ground. And I'm going to watercolor on top of that. See how it turns out. Because I don't really have much by way of acrylic selection. I think I just colored on a section. I don't want that color. Okay. Yep, too dark. I really like this color. It's wisteria. Is this wisteria? No, this is lavender. Yeah, because the pink one's wisteria. It's those newish, I guess they're not new now, but Daniel Smith colors. They still feel new to me, mainly because I haven't seen any other colors released since these guys. But they're so pretty. And they're so weird because they act transparent for the most part, but you can actually use them over darker colors as if they were a gouache, as if they were opaque, but they're not a true opaque. They still dry somewhat transparent. Ooh, what color did I pick up there? I don't know, but I like it. What do we say about accidents? They're all happy. Yeah, it's really hard to describe how it dries. Like, you'll paint it over a darker color and you'll see it like really bright, but then as it dries it fades, so it becomes just kind of a toner to the color beneath it, which is really cool. I'm trying to figure out what color was that. Okay, there we go. I'm like, I like this color. What did I do? It's the only problem I have with happy accidents is... Yeah, that's called glazing, which is how you're actually supposed to use watercolors. But I am not that patient. So I say screw glazing, I'm just gonna go straight from the tube. Which is why my stuff is so saturated and doesn't have all of those teeny tiny subtle hue changes and things that, you know, a true watercolor painting would have. I have to do the little bunny ear signs because it's kind of funny to listen to people argue over what makes a real watercolor painting. It's like, well, I used watercolors. It's real enough, right? Nope, nope, nope. It's all about the technique. Really like this darker stuff, whatever this is. Not sure what it is. One of these days I should just sit down and do a painting with just glazing. I haven't done it in so long that I'm sure I'm ridiculously out of practice. So you have to know exactly what the colors are gonna do. They suggest you make a grid on a piece of paper where you do like one color straight across and that same color down, and then do another color across, another color down, that kind of thing. Where did my pen go? Okay. So that you can learn what all of your... Oh yeah, I love watching glaze artists because that's not a skill I ever refined at all. I think I need to darken this section right here because it's not standing out quite enough from the dress. Oh, now I may have darkened it too much. Well, we'll roll with it. Guess I need to do this dark somewhere else too. Sure, this works. Oh, way too dark. Sanjana's art. Okay, I will look her up after all this and check out her stuff, because I dig me some good glazing work. I think Meredith does that. I know Stephanie does. But Stephanie's like the queen of granulation. I can pronounce that. Granulation. So that's kind of her hallmark. But I'm pretty sure Meredith does a lot of glazing techniques because her stuff has that kind of ethereal quality that glazing gives. Really? Super neon bright with... Okay, now I really have to watch her, because that's not normally the case. Well, not that I wasn't going to watch her before, but you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. Something like that. But, oh, shoot. Too dark again. It's one thing I really like about watercolors. It's like, oh, whoops, too dark. Quick, add water. So I watched this artist, his name's Sal. Crystal introduced me to him, and he does little live stream videos, but he does them directly on Facebook. I'm debating doing that with like some small, like the little quick, fast, what's in the box stuff I do. Thinking about doing that, because that might be a better use of that particular platform. See, you say just add water, and all I can think of is that really corny mermaid show on Netflix that I watched every single season of, even though it's really corny. Because of mermaids. It's called H2O, just add water. Okay. Now I'm actually giving these little ruffly things some shape here. Great, now I have the theme song for that show. Ah! Hit my camera thing. The theme song for that show stuck in my head now. There we go. My lighting is kind of weird because the sun is out. So it's making things kind of a little bit brighter than usual. Add some of this darker stuff in here. That's great for sparklies. No idea what color this is. It's got so many colors on top of it that I think it's just kind of some weird Frankie color now. Oh my goodness, Tucker. He's like, I must defend you from, you know, nothing, but I'm gonna defend you. Oh, he's defending me from Aiden taking the trash out to the street for the garbage pickup. Because apparently the garbage cans are dangerous. So I sculpted all of these leaves. I'm going to do the same thing down here and along here too. Just trying to decide if I want to add some over on this side or not. Oh no, I got purple in there. Oh well, looks like I'm going to be changing that. Sparkle, sparkle. So once this piece is done, I have the skulls to work on, and I have the next cover for the Guts and Glory books I need to do. I'm actually really behind on those, but the first one just got released the other day, so it's not too terribly bad. I just want to get it right, and children's books are way out of my normal comfort zone, so I have to psych myself up, get myself in the mindset to draw little kids and mechanical monsters. Well, okay, the mechanical monsters I could do any day. It's mainly the drawing little kids part that I have to psych myself up for. I'm actually really close to done with the painting part on this. It just doesn't look like it. Oh, hey, that's not dry yet. Woot. Now it's just a shadow. Yay. I'm really impatient today, I can tell, because, I mean, I've made how many mistakes? So I want to match this to this, and I think that means I'm going to have to lay this god-awful red down, because that's what I did on the bottom. If I remember right, I did red. Yeah, this was an awful color. This was such a bad choice. I love my friend to bits, and I'm not naming them. And they were laughing about it, so I know that they found the whole thing hilarious. But red is very red. Oh, that was just you, Eva. Okay. Yeah, it's so red. I don't know what color this is, because I don't normally put red on this palette. It was supposed to be a pink, but no, it was very red. I'm gonna let that dry. I need to decide what these guys are gonna be and what this guy is gonna be. I think I might add a bit of this brighter to this ribbon though, because it's not quite standing out the way I want it to. Ooh, that turned out ugly. Okay, don't do that again. Gotcha. Okay. So I've got this as the patterning. This is patterning. So this one's probably patterning because this one's plain. Which means both of these should be patterny because that one's patterny. Trying to figure out my patterns. I'm going to go up here and add to the patterning. See, Eva, this is why I like watching that that loom group you got me into. I forget what it's called. Reedle or something like that, something weird. Because they do all these really cool patterns. And it makes sense when they do it. So I can look at their things and go, oh, that's why that's striped that way. Gotcha. I'm enjoying watching the group, but so far I haven't had the guts to, or the money really, to get a loom set up so I can start my adventures in weaving. I'm really looking forward to it when I can, but it's like every time I turn around, something happens around the house. Came back from the convention and our water heater had gone out with a bang. I was like, oh, well, okay. Guess we're replacing that. But yeah, I really like sitting in that group and just sucking up the knowledge. I had no idea there was so much that went into weaving. I was like, yeah, you just, you weave stuff back and forth. How hard can it be? I've been thoroughly schooled in how hard it can be. like messaging me on Facebook, but I am busy, so I'm not gonna go look. Oh no. I have that mermaid TV show song stuck in my head now. Oh well, that's okay. I'll survive. Hey, now I have I'll survive stuck in my head. Yeah! Oh, I'm doing great today. Debating doing stripes. Maybe. Possibly. What are your feelings on stripes? Oh my gosh, Eva, you got temporary blocked? Hold on, let me see if I can do something about that. I think there's a button I can click that will fix that. Maybe it's just we're worried that there might be spam here from how many messages are going on, so we're gonna temporarily block you to slow you down. Facebook keeps giving me an error code every time I go to reply to anyone in Messenger or comment or even like things, where it's like, we need to check and see if you're real or not. Please answer this. Please type in this code. Which was fine the first time, but now it's gotten really annoying. So what do you think of that that new social platform that everyone's either going yay nuts over or oh no terrible over? What's it called? Vero? Vero. I think it's called Vero. Yeah, the red is so awful, but if you can get, I mean, that's glazing, just much thicker than what most people do. You can still see the red underneath the color. Like over here, all of this has red under it. What am I gonna do for this one? Kind of feel like I should have different patterns. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it until like 2 days ago when all of a sudden everyone was jumping on board. And I went ahead and made an account, but I mean it doesn't have anything on it or anything like that. Because I figure, well, every social media goes through the grinder when they first come out. Well, this one isn't first out, it's been out since like 2015, but you know, when they first kind of get a lot of attention. So I figure I just make the account, because they were talking about how the first million never have to pay a subscription fee, and then I just sit here and watch and see what happens. But I think the subscription fee thing will kill them, because Facebook may do terrible algorithms, but it doesn't charge a subscription fee. And people definitely react to that. I kind of think that's part of why DeviantArt went downhill, aside from the natural decline of things that are popular. I think they started pushing the subscriptions too much. So it got to the point where people just noped their way out of there. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Eva. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I will run away from that topic entirely. Anyways, so this Vero thing is, it's like it was super great yesterday, and today everyone's like, it's super awful. And I'm just going, what's changed? Has anything changed? I don't think anything's changed on that site, so not sure if I like this stripy thing, but we'll see. Oh, I have the most obnoxious nose issue today, so sorry if I'm sniffling in your ear. I started getting random bloody noses yesterday, like for no reason whatsoever. And now my nose has been sniffly all day. Like, haha, I'm gonna threaten you with another nosebleed. I think it's just the air's dry. Yeah, I like the contrast too. I'm just worried that I don't want to draw too much attention downwards. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot that balances it. Like that, the sunlight completely wipes out the picture on the screen. That's funny. Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a humidifier and seeing if that does the trick, because I really, really don't see this going away anytime soon. I mean, the winter's always been kind of a dryness issue because of the heater. But I don't know if I like these stripes. Still trying to decide. Oh, this color is Moon Glow that I'm using, so actually the stripes are going to change color. I just realized that because I noticed that this one started changing color. So I may actually end up liking these stripes, because they might turn a nice color. And we're back to happy accidents. I really like Moon Glow. I did an example of it for, yeah, so it's like the Rose of Ultramarine, where they have different pigments in it, like drastically different pigments. Like Rose of Ultramarine has rose madder and ultramarine blue in it, and then they grind the pigments to different weights. So depending on how much water you use, it will start graining, but it'll start graining in different colors. You can get it to all stay the same color if you use it heavy enough so that the water doesn't break apart the pigments. But what's the fun in that? And it doesn't really work very well when it's painted on top of another color like this stripe. So this one has some purple, a rose hue, kind of a grayish hue, and it's definitely got some cyan in it. I'm not sure what the color breakdown is for all the different colors in this one, but it's got a lot more colors than the Rose of Ultramarine. Yeah, that's why I like Daniel Smith is very scientific about how they approach their paints. So these are, the breakdown is really lovely, and the graininess is just on point. Like the lightest kind of red tone shows up where it's super light. I wonder if I can lift this up close enough to show it. Ooh, I don't think the lighting is gonna let you really see. Hello, focus. Hi, thank you. Maybe if I lower it? I don't think it's going to really show you the different colors, but the red shows when it's super wet, thinned, when it's super thinned out with water. The cyan kind of shows in the middle and in the dark, and the blue-purple shows in the medium. You can see it a bit. Yeah, it's really vibrant, like super, super vibrant. I'm really not sure if I like this striping still. Anyway, it's such a cool color. Like, I totally recommend people get these colors just because they require you to use the water to your advantage. You can't just paint it on. You have to think, okay, thicker water, thinner water. So it helps train people to think about the water. Possibly. I'm thinking about that. Because right now it's super, super contrasty. So I might do that was the Rose of Ultramarine. I think that might be a bit much Rose of Ultramarine going on, because it's like here, 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 here. Or maybe not. I mean, I don't really have much darks over here. Yeah, let's give it a try. Why not? Rose of Ultramarine, come here. See, this is the rose without another color on it. It shows this really kind of fuchsia look from the rose, but the blue turns up. I think the blue is the lighter pigment, so I think if you water it down, the blue shows more. I'd have to tone this down a bit though, it's super blinding against the moon glow. Like super blinding. It's okay. Yeah, so the ultramarine shows up when the water is, I just dropped my paintbrush again, when the water is thinner. Then the ultramarine comes out. Or when the paint is thinner, I mean. I'm gonna just kind of thin this out a bit more. If I get it more in the blue tones, it'll set nicer with this color. I'm gonna have to close my curtain soon here because I'm starting to have trouble seeing around the sunlight. Yeah, see, look at how blue this one is. It's this exact same color, but I've got so much water that it just reads as ultramarine. And it can get like super blue. So just depends on how you use it. I'm gonna have to add some other colors over it, I think, over both of them. But if I just do it in the shading, it should keep the really cool tone changing effect. This part's going over yellow anyways, so it's going to be a bit different here. The blue tends to show up a lot on the yellows because of the reacting to the green, or the green, reacting to the yellow, the blue taking a little bit more of a green tone. Oh man, okay, hold on, I'm gonna close my curtain. Be right back. I found a compromise. I closed it halfway so my succulents are still getting some sunlight. That's why I have my curtains open, is because I want my poor succulents to get some natural light. They have one sun lamp going on, and they're expressing very clearly to me that they don't like it. Lots of stretching towards the light. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something to meld these two tones together because they're way contrasty. I think they're even more contrasty than the white and purple. That's kind of funny. It's okay. I know what to do. But I want to get all of it done at once. It's so funny. I was watching well, I understand why, so it's all good. I can make it work. I was reading some thing that was like, how you sit tells a lot about your personality, you know, those things. So I looked at it, wanting to see what they said about how, you know, the personality of someone who sits like I do, because I sit cross-legged in my chair. I very rarely don't sit cross-legged in my chair. And it was just like completely non-mention of sitting with your legs under you on your chair. I'm just like, well, what does that mean then? Am I a mutant? Do I have no personality? It says nothing about me. Yeah, see, I deliberately go for chairs with really wide arms so that I can fold my legs, because I don't do the sitting straight thing very well. It starts hurting my back, actually, and I start getting like numb tinglies. And they said it's because it can, like, the position I'm sitting in is maybe pinching a nerve. But I'm like, I'm literally just sitting. So, I don't know. This color I'm using is called Cobalt Violet. And like all cobalts, it is a pain in the butt to get to show the actual color. So I like using it as kind of an accent on top of other colors to moderate the tone, because it just doesn't want to be anything but transparent. So I'm using it on top of the Moon Glow to give the Moon Glow a more blue-purple tint. And convince it to maybe make more sense. But this stuff's a pain because you have to layer it a lot just to get it to make any sort of impact on the color beneath it. And it doesn't like to reconstitute, so you'll put water on it and you'll move it around and you'll get the whatever binder they used to reconstitute, but the pigments will be like, yeah, no, we're gonna stay down here, you just enjoy yourself. Never feel bad for a recommendation. I can always change things. Maybe not, you know, exactly the way Like, I can't go, oh, this is terrible, I'm gonna make it white again. Well, I'm gonna have to go to acrylics if I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I like how it echoes the top of the dress too. So I'm gonna make it a little bit darker just to give it a little bit less contrast though. Not quite that dark. I need to do like a whole class on lifting. I had to do that at the convention I was at. Do a demonstration on lifting, which is always fun, but I don't have much patience for it. But I've watched people lift entire sections of color away and then completely change the color to something else, and it was just like, holy cow, how did you do that? Logically you know how, but the actual process is so annoying. Magic, yes, is magic. I miss my watercolor teacher. We haven't really kept in touch. Once in a while we message each other, but it's very rare because he moved to another city and he doesn't really do the online thing. He's always painting. Always. In fact, he used to give me a hard time for how much I am on the internet because he's like, you could be painting. Take that, teacher. I am painting and on the internet. He's a pretty old school painter though. That's better. I think I'll let it dry before I mess with it more though, because I don't want to fiddle with it too much. And chatting, yes. As opposed to just drowning myself in music. Okay. So, no, I think I was using the blue purple for this. I don't know, but we're about to find out. I guess I was using whatever color this is. So one thing I don't like about my palettes is they're so messy that a lot of times I lose track of what color I was working with. Okay, this is definitely this color though, over here. So I'll come back later to a section and be like, what did I do? What was this about? Okay, I'm putting these big dots here because I got a bit of purple on this from resting my hand on it like a baddie. Oh, that looks bad. Okay, let's do this and this, which means this is gotta do that. So one thing is painting this type of thing without like using a ruler and the math and doing all of that usually ends up really awful. But I figure the dress is super wavy, so I can put all of my warping and screw ups to the dress is really wavy. Okay, I'm gonna do this. As long as it looks relatively balanced, that's the important part. You know, when my patterns match. Oops, wrong color. Okay, that one, why not? We'll do another one over here like this, sure. Yeah, I play Love Nikki and they just came out with a new event, and it's like a wedding event thing. And for the first time, I'm like completely uninterested and the new dresses that they have, I'm like, eh. I think it's because I'm working on this one and it's more interesting. Interesting isn't the right word. She's got more going on with it. So it's hard for the more simple dresses on the game to compete for my attention. Yeah, that's better. So basically I'm just trying to go for having a design that looks like it fills up the bottom of the dress. Scribble there. Doing it this way is hard. I'm like, what did I do here? Wait, okay, this goes like this, goes like this. Goes like this. And then it does a little loop-de-loop thing here. And then this does a big loopy thing right here. It goes up and around like so. And this one has a big thingy like that. And that comes down here, the big circly blobby thing, and there's a big circly thing right there, and that's really all oh, now I gotta do this part. Choo-choo. Let's pretend like this is all lined up right here. Just getting these things to be even is a pain. They don't have to be perfectly even, but enough to get the message across. Let's see. I think I used a little of this. What is this? Yeah, I used some of this. Whatever this is, I used it. I used to write down my colors as I was working on paintings, but that didn't last. You know what I'm gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. Take this moon glow and I'm gonna go because these are very good special effects. So my dad and I got kicked out of the zoo when I was little because my dad discovered that the howler monkeys would kick up this huge awesome noise if you howled at them, but you had to match their howls. You couldn't just, you know, howl like a wolf. You had to do howler monkey howls. So we would stand there and just, you know, and just keep going until the howler monkeys were all howling. And you know, they do it on their own randomly throughout the day, but it was just so damn funny that they do it when we would howl at them, that we were sitting there doing it. And eventually a zookeeper came over and was like, okay, you two gotta leave. No more antagonizing the howler monkeys. He did assure us that the monkeys weren't harmed or anything. It was just annoying people. Because they were so loud and we kept getting them to do it like constantly. So they were like, you guys are done. my dad has gotten me kicked out of so many places. And it's usually for random silly crap that doesn't hurt anything, but people get annoyed, and so they're like, yeah, time for you to go. He hasn't really done that much lately, but you know, he's about to retire and everything, so I suppose he has to maintain a good professor standing and not get his students kicked out of places. Yeah, I was just talking to him, no biggie. Yeah, that wouldn't have gone over well. You totally can't see this, but I've like checkerboarded this. Let's see, I'll darken this one. Well, I haven't checkerboarded it, but I don't know. I did something to it. The point is, something happened. I miss my dad. We're trying to convince him to come out for the holidays this year. And he said, maybe. But he and his wife just did a huge cruise. So I think they're currently in the recovering financially from taking a cruise. Okay, I literally have no idea what this is going to look like, but I kind of like it. Kind of don't, kind of do. I'm going to roll with it. There are lines. This one. Do this one. Yeah, kind of like this. It's weird, but you know, weird can be good. Okay, let's do another set of weirdo lines. This is not as wiggly as I probably should make it, but that's okay. Just realized I missed a little pink section. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do the purpley pinks first. So I'll do this one. This would make like no sense as a woven pattern. I'm just saying that now. You'd be like, Jess, that's not how that works. I'll be like, I know. But let's face it, this whole dress isn't how fabric works. Yeah, no, after watching that loom group, I firmly believe they can literally do anything they want. There is zero limits to their abilities. Let's see, do that. I'm going to darken this one a bit more. Yeah, but I mean, it's still cool. I really just want to Okay, honestly, I really just want to learn how to weave so I can make a bunch of scarves, so I could walk around scarves all the time. That's it. I just want to wear scarves all the time. I love scarves. I do want to try my hand at silk painting again. I did it once, like 20 years ago, and it was the coolest thing. I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with this. And then there was this lady who used to send little silk paintings like this big to conventions, and they were so pretty. But it's been so long, and silk painting is surprisingly difficult. You wouldn't think it would be, but it is. I used to do batiking too. That was fun. I enjoyed that, except I got wax all over the place and I got in trouble a lot. Okay, I like where the bottom of the skirt is going now. It makes like no sense, but I really like it, so we're gonna run with it. Oh, I forgot to do the dark patterns too. Okay, dark squares gotta be colored too. So I'll do this one. Then I'll do this one. I knew that this needed a pattern. I just didn't know what pattern it needed was the problem. And I kept thinking flowers. But I tried to do flowers over here and it turned out really awful. So I was a little bit hesitant on the whole flower front. But I like this. This is bizarre, and it's got so many different shades and things, it doesn't really particularly call attention to itself over the rest. It's just weird. I like weird. Weird is good. Okay. Now I just gotta do this guy over here. And then can move on to the next part, which will be, I don't know. I don't know which part I want to paint first. There we go. Oh, I still have these lower pieces to do too. Oops. Now I have to remember how I did this. Crap! Shit. Okay. I wanted one to be Rose of Ultramarine. Okay, one was Rose of Ultramarine, and one was Moonglow, because we were talking about how they change colors, and we were discussing if they would match. So, and then we found out they don't match unless you do them in funky patterns. So, do this. So I'm trying to keep kind of the weird shapes of the fabric, and then I'm going to paint over and do all the things tying it together. But it's a little bit hard. Luckily, nobody actually knows. Like, okay, so if one of the Renaissance-y artists saw this, they would be like, that's not how fabric works. But that's okay, because, oops, wrong color. This whole thing is a thing, and that's not how fabric works. But pretties, yeah. You can get away with anything as long as it's pretty. I learned that. If it's pretty, you know, sometimes you can just Toss the rules right out the window. Oh my gosh, I'm hungry. I don't know what I want to eat today. Tucker! Tucker! Hey! Hey! Chill out! So I gotta figure out what this one's gonna be, because I'm still not sure yet, and I want to do more on this yellow, so I think while this dries, I think I'll take a little bit of this and give it a little bit of shading. So I'm doing purple on top of yellow because it, well, purple and yellow make brown, but it gives it a, since the yellow is dried, I'm glazing over it, so it gives it kind of a creamy effect, which is really nice when you're wanting to do a dress that looks like it's creamy, I guess. This is that wisteria color that I was talking about earlier. It's like the lavender, and that's actually pretty opaque, but it dries in clear layers, so you can actually get pretty intricate with it. Oh, and I should remind you that I'm also going to be doing beadwork on top of this, so, you know, this is going to be a really complicated piece when it's all done. Yeah, there's going to be beaded dinglies and all kinds of stuff. I'm going all out on this. Are you kidding? You saw that frame. I can't not go all out on this. It would be a crime to do otherwise. Okay, where's my glow? I cannot not go out. Also, I'm debating keeping this one for my kitchen. And my kitchen, well, it used to be all deep reds, but because Sean loves, you know, that deep burgundy red, but we sold slag, which was kind of the centerpiece for that room and that color scheme. And Tucker, the kitchen looks really small when it's painted dark. You know, it's actually a pretty decent sized kitchen, but with the dark, it just looks tiny. So I'm going with a lighter color scheme, and I'm going with purples and blues and those kinds of things, which is why the dragon on mural in between the living room and the kitchen has the kind of blue tones and the flowers and things, so that I can have it change from the browns and greens of the living room into the purples of the kitchen and dining room area. And right now Sean is complaining about it. He's so not happy with it. He's just like, I want the red back. And now his latest complaint is that I haven't finished painting it, except he told me he'd help me paint it because I'm short and the ceilings are super tall, and I was standing on chairs to paint and it was freaking him out. But since he hates the color, he's been putting off painting because he doesn't want to paint that color. So it's been pretty funny. He's been most unhappy with the color choice, but he'll like it once it's all done and comes together. I found this old, kind of Victorian looking dining room table that is in absolute trashed condition, and we're sanding off the chipped and demolished veneer and the the varnish on the legs and everything. And then I'm gonna paint it with that kind of white chalk paint, I think is what it's called. And then I'm going to paint a dragon across the top of the table to match the one on the mural, but it'll be in the blues and purples color scheme. And then I'm going to put a nice mirror resin finish over the top, so it's like super shiny, super pretty. And Sean's like, we should just paint it, dark brown to match the living room. And I'm like, Sean, we're trying to get away from dark colors. Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, I have to, do it first, but I think Sean's behind the idea because he started sanding the legs for me the other day. So I think despite his complaints, he is secretly intrigued. He made the mistake of telling me that this house is my house and I can do whatever I want to it. Which, it is my house, and I can, but before I was consulting him on things, and now I'm just like, whee! All out, whatever I want. Which has horrified him in some regards, and he probably regrets saying that to me. But that's okay. It'll look awesome when it's all done. I keep reminding him that all of my paintings go through an ugly phase. So he should consider the house just one big ugly phase right now. Okay. This brush has one tip to it, but it's like kind of curved. So you have to hold the brush at the right angle to get the teeny tiny fine point. And I can't see where that angle is. So I'm like, painting blind. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do this one dark. This one down here will be dark. And I'm going to do this one dark. And this one dark. This one dark. Not that it really shows because I kind of did all of that dark. That's okay. I like making weird patterns. I have this round frame that used to be a clock, and I'm going to paint a March hare in it. The Alice in Wonderland. It's going to be a wild hare with a top hat on it. And I'm going to put that in the old clock frame because I think that'd be really cool. And I talked to Mary Mask about if I could be inspired by her mask, because she's got the Venetian bunny mask, and she's also got the top hats that she was making for people that had bunny ears. So I'm like, that's perfect. It's perfect. But I need to ask permission so I don't alienate my friend. Luckily she thinks it's an awesome idea too, so she was like, go for it, run amok, show me when it's done. Yeah, I was originally gonna paint Alice, but then I was like, everyone paints Alice whenever they get a clock frame, so I think I'm gonna go for the March hare, because then it could be a weird bunny rabbit, and it can have a weird top hat. But it's not, strictly speaking, Alice. Plus, that'll help me get away from the Disney imaginings of how Alice in Wonderland looks. Because they've kind of nailed, like, well, they've done, what? Technically 2 versions of her, but in one of those movies, in 2 of those movies, she changed clothing a bunch of times. So they've really kind of hit on all of the popular styles for Alice that were non-Disney. They're now Disney. So that's a little bit frustrating. I wish Disney would stop remaking stuff so that I don't have a piece that suddenly is Disney-esque because I went a different direction and bam, Disney. Or wait, that was Disney. Okay, so we got the patchworky part done. I think I'm going to darken this one just a bit. Now, I need to do whatever this part is. What is this part going to be? Crapole! Crapperino! Craptastic! I don't know what to do there. I could do more of this pattern, but it would be... I guess it wouldn't be too repetitive because it's small. I'm stuck. What am I gonna do there? What am I gonna do there? Don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. Part 9,000,000,001. It's a wonder I get anything done because I get stuck all the time with having not planned out the colors in advance. I really need to start doing that, but every time I have, I've like really kind of mangled the balance because I'm trying to think too much about it. Oops, too dark. I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet. This is my great big not sure face. Give it some yellow touches here and there, because why not? Purple and yellow always worked well together. It needs to be darker. What color is this? I don't know what color this is. Whatever color it is fighting me, and it does not want to reconstitute. Which makes me think it's one of the cobalts, but it's not cobalt violet because that's a more blue tone. This is a cobalt, but I don't know which one it is. Huh. It's awfully pink. I'm gonna have to tone that down. It's too pink. It's okay. We'll go with the pink for now. dry. So, once I finish this, I have to do the rest of the sparkles on these. Then I need to paint the green leaves here. I paint even though I'm sculpting because when the leaves are up off of the painting, I want there to be green to keep it from looking unfinished. And then it's beadwork and sculpting, and then I'll be done. So I think I can actually finish this today if I keep my eye on the prize and keep working on this instead of, you know, running away. But I am really hungry. Ooh, I think I might have a quiche for dinner. Oh, grilled cheese and tomato. Oh, envious. Bye, Eva. Do do do. Do 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 do. Make this really purple. Really quite too purple. Let that dry a bit. Let's see. If no one else is watching, I am going to zip away to make food. Okay, I'm going to call it here to get food. So I will talk to you guys later.